A volatile danger lurks at the bottom of the ocean off the coast of the United States.
According to the Department of Defense, the U.S. military dumped a countless number of unused conventional and chemical weapons in the water before the Pentagon banned the practice in 1970.
In Hawaii, one researcher estimates 100,000 military bombs were sunk off the coast in just the 1940s alone.
They didn't have the chemical processes that we have now to chemically neutralize toxins.
University of Hawaii researcher Margot Edwards explains back then, if they wanted to get rid of excess obsolete or damaged munitions, options were limited.
They could burn them, not a very good idea. They could bury them, which meant that maybe their constituents would leak into the water table that we all drink from, or they could dispose of them out at sea.
And she says the military did very little to document the dump sites. Edwards says she spoke to one World War II veteran about the process.
When they turned around and held their hand up like this, and the Royal Hawaiian Hotel was that big above the horizon, then they knew it was time to start dumping the munitions.
Because they were never documented, finding dumped munitions has been a challenge until now.
Reporter Allison Blair shows us how remote-controlled technology could help researchers locate the explosives before they cause any more harm.
For nearly a century, the ocean has hidden a part of Hawaii's history most people know nothing about. At the end of World War II, the U.S. military sunk a portion of its wartime arsenal. Most of the dump sites were never documented.
Your options were to burn the munitions, to bury the munitions, or to dispose of them at sea. And disposing of them at sea was seen as the least harmful option.
Today,
we find munitions in feet of water. That's in Hilo, that's here, that's potentially even over in Molokai.
this underwater video taken in 2021 shows 3 unexploded ordnance on the ocean floor about 300 yards off Lanai's south shore. The explosives were reported by 2 recreational divers.
Lots of bombs out there.
Now, the University of Hawaii is at the forefront of a new effort to find these decaying munitions in places people are most likely to come in contact with them. The Department of Defense recently approved a 2-year project allowing the school to develop a maritime test range complex, a place for engineers from all over the world to test their new technology to see if it works. And this remote-controlled robot will play a big part in making that happen.
Out here on the water, we have an uncrewed surface vessel, which is a platform onto which we can set up sensors that can monitor things in the water.
Some of the gadgets tested will be mounted onto the robot before they're sent out to sea.
And the way we're going to do that is by setting up surrogates or fake munitions that are safe to see if their techs can do the detection that we're expecting.
But before the launch of the Maritime Test Range Complex later this summer, UH is doing some test runs at Sand Island.
Today we're doing something slightly different. We're doing visual detection.
This is some of the imagery that was captured by that underwater camera. After nearly a century on the seafloor, it's unclear what impacts lost munitions could have on the environment. It's why researchers say efforts like this are crucial.
They were made of steel, steel rusts. We don't know, for example, if they've been leaking what was inside of them for a long period of time, or something catastrophic is going to happen tomorrow, and what was previously an intact bomb is suddenly going to go poof and release a bunch of toxic material into the environment.
Hawaii isn't the only place where the issue of lost munitions are a problem. University of Hawaii researchers say there are similar dump sites off countries all over the world. And here in Hawaii, unexploded bombs aren't just a concern off the coast. They've been discovered in several neighborhoods, hidden on pasture land, and even in the garden of a middle school. In Honolulu, I'm Allison Blair.